Consumer analytics using data science. So consumer analytics, let's look at this. Okay. Continuous industrial transformation is what we have already seen, which is brought in transformational supply chain management, just-in-time supplies, and a whole lot of improvements there. What we are talking about is the third platform, which is the SMAC being put to use. The social business, the mobility, the cloud, and the big data analytics, which is again a conglomeration or a combination of all the various different things I have spoken about. But what's important is data everywhere I have spoken about. And if you observe, I'm talking about not just it to be as a software or a hardware, it is data everywhere. Yeah. So that is where they are. Okay. Now coming to the consumer. Consumer behavior is something that marketeers and product owners and new entrepreneurs are always on the lookout. And what is it basically? Consumer behavior is a very complex matrix which is driven by a lot of factors. And what are those factors? Society, your own personality, the culture that you come from, the background, your attitude, your economic status, your family, your educational background, your demographics, and a whole lot of other stuff. Oh my goodness. It is very complicated. Yes. For a non-machine learning concept, this is very complicated. But for machine learning and a data scientist and a person who knows artificial intelligence, this is just a play of numbers and data, basically. Okay. Very simplistically put, but look at it that we need to go into the details. I'm just taking up an example. Okay, I'm going to do some analysis on the sales. See, ultimately, it's all about sales and numbers and how profitable I am when I launch a product. So I want to know how my product, how is it being sold or how is it being taken up. So it's a simple formula. Sales is equal to total number of households into the penetration into the buying rate, for which I need to know the total number of households, which is just a number. I need to deduce the penetration and I need to know the buying rate. So I would exactly know these components, which are basically from the market. So what's driving the sales of my brand? Two things. One is how many households are buying my brand, which will define the penetration, and how much is each household buying, which is my buying rate, right? How much is my product being bought, which is buying rate, and how many of them are buying it is the penetration. So I finish off with A and B, and then I come to C and D. How often does each household buy, which defines my frequency, and how much do they buy in each trip, which is the size of the purchase, which is the sale per trip. Now, if I deduce all of this, I start getting numbers. And when I start getting numbers, it becomes an easy game for applying a machine learning algorithm onto it and bring about the knowledge or the intelligence around it, right? So, but it is not that simple. I need to look at various different aspects when it comes to human behavior. Now, many of the buyers would have various different ways of looking at things. So we need to look at the significance and the involvement at the same time. Now again, okay, this is a 2x2 matrix. So when it is a 2x2 matrix, I can definitely put some numbers to it and make sense to it and bring about a meaning through ones and zeros. Yes, wonderful. Habitual buying behavior, I give some number. A dissonance reducing buying behavior, I give some number. Complex buying behavior, I would need some more deep learning there. So I would keep it aside. Variety seeking buying behavior. Oh, okay, now I know. So depending on the significance, the difference, and the involvement, I would come out with a algorithm. Algorithm may sound difficult. Let's say it's a program. Basically, I would deduce a small, simple program, which would make sense of if it is high involvement and low difference. Then there is a way in which a buyer would behave, but it also depends on what the buyer wants to buy, right? So this would mean that I would have to deploy some complex machine learning algorithms. And what could that be? It could be looking into all the factors influencing consumer behavior: economic factors, personal factors, psychological factors, cultural and social factors. Now, I would make all of this into a matrix, and then I would have multiple matrix going and figuring out what suits the best. Okay, now I would not go this is okay, done, understanding all that is fine. Okay, now what am I doing is I need to collect the right amount of data. Look at this as a use case wherein an artificial monitored store or a mall would start collecting the data from the time you enter to the time you spend at each of the aisle, in front of each of the product, picking up some of the product and looking up to the details. See the micro level detailing that an artificial intelligence system can look into for collecting the data, which will be fed into my machine learning algorithm. And then the recommender systems would start playing their role. And what are recommender systems? It's basically to provide you with suggestions, with options, and some inputs for you to decide as to what more can you buy, or whether you should buy this or something else, because you would save some money if there is an offer, right? All of these things we have experienced. So while all of this is happening, the predicting consumer behavior with data analytics is a big thing these days across all verticals, not just retail or not just for any consumer goods. It is for anything and everything that we speak about. Thanks to technology and thanks to social media that we could go in. I would not get into the details wherein what all would the system need and how they are doing the analysis, taking into account the various different data elements and points, whether it is in-store, whether e-commerce, or whether it is combining it with the supply chain and logistics, or on-demand supply that is needed, or it could be a mom and pop shop around, or selling through different apps and stuff like that, which would bring in a lot of data points from various different sources in unstructured, semi-structured, and structured manner, which could be simple or complex. And that is where the big data analytics would play a role, right? So I will not get into this. We are talking about eliminating over $100 billion of coordination waste. Look at this. If I look at big data analytics, mobility, and social business all put together, it is going to eliminate the coordination waste to the tune of $100 billion across the world. That's quite a bit of saving. And why not? Why should I not look at it when there is a benefit, right? So sales and CRM, manufacturing, customer recognition, supply chain, payments are all automated. They're all done at one go. And technology has all combined to help me with this. Now, having said this, again, this I've already spoken about, consumer behavior models, which have been there in the past, have been automated today by using some of the machine learning models, machine learning algorithms. And to name a few, Harvard Seath model or Nicosia or stimulus response model are all automated these days, which work wonderfully well when I feed in with the necessary data that I have. So artificial intelligence, machine learning helps in various different activities here, whether it is for discovering, exploring, buying, asking for feedback or recommendation, using the data, or engaging with the end customer, or advocating, which is mainly in terms of advertising, branding, and building the loyalty. Look at the complex nature of the buying. We had not even thought that it would be so very complex, but yes, if you look at consumer behavior, it is complex. Now, what do I do with this? Well, first I need to understand and then start applying various different models. The unified attribute model would combine the customer data models, the content model, the product data models, and of course the knowledge architecture, which keeps building and which keeps refining and which keeps learning in every transaction that happens. So the knowledge architecture is my artificial intelligence system, which I have deployed on the consumer data models, the product data models, and the content models to learn on its own depending on how the various different data elements are behaving in various different scenarios. Easier said than done, but thanks to the advancement in the application of the machine learning algorithms, which help in bringing about the right insights and providing the right data for information and knowledge. Look at the various different places from where the data comes in. I've already spoken about it, and I've spoken about this as well. I would share the presentation so you don't have to worry about that. I have rushed through this, but the intention is that I go to the recommender system and look at how machine learning and artificial intelligence systems get built and how they would be useful in the scenarios that I have spoken about.